What's up, Jets fans? It's Christian from the Jets Report, and today we're going to be talking about the possibility of Deshaun Watson heading to the New York Jets. So, you got to realize Deshaun Watson is easily a top 5 quarterback in this league. Personally, I have him at top 3, but he puts up video game-like numbers in an organization that, quite frankly, seems pretty dysfunctional and has no real sense of direction. And his top 2 receivers at the end of the year being guys like Kiki QT and Chad Hansen. That's not a winning team. That's not a winning direction. That's not a winning culture. And I see why Deshaun Watson wants out of the Texans organization. He's entering his prime, and they're about to waste all of his years. And Deshaun Watson is a generational quarterback talent. So what comes with being a generational quarterback talent is high value. And quite frankly, we've never really seen a high-value quarterback like this get traded entering their prime. It's really unheard of because most teams covet these types of quarterbacks and put good guys around him. So the value that we would be looking at, it could be, I think, 3 to 4 first-round picks, maybe 1 to 2 third-round picks in that range, and even some young player assets like a guy like Sam Darnold or Tua Tagovailoa or whatever team he goes to. But if you were to go to the Jets, you have to realize Deshaun Watson's also coming with a lot of money on his contract. He has one of those massive quarterback mega deals where he's going to be a $40 million annual quarterback in the next 4 to 5 years. So with this comes a less opportunity to spend in free agency, but we so happen to have the number 2 most cap space, so we're set up to make a trade for a guy like Deshaun Watson. And the situation that Deshaun Watson creates because of how much he's worth, a lot of teams are cut out of the race, and it's narrowed down to only a few select teams. The select teams that I'm thinking of are the Jets, obviously, and then teams like the Dolphins and the 49ers because of their assets, their young talent, and them being able to afford the contract to Deshaun Watson. So specifically talking about the Jets, a trade package I would think the Jets would put together is something like 3 first-round picks, at least one third-round pick, and Sam Darnold. Now, how we could configure this trade can go in a bunch of different ways. My ideal way is trading the number 2 overall pick this year because that's the most valuable pick, and that's probably why the Texans would even want to trade with us. So we go with the number 2 overall pick this year, the Jets 2022 pick, not the Seattle pick, or whatever pick is higher we give them out of Seattle or the Jets. I'm just assuming it's the Jets. And whatever the higher pick is in 2022, and the first-round pick in 2023, plus the 2021 third-round pick that we have this year, and Sam Darnold. So now let me explain to you why this is the ideal trade scenario. If we trade our number 2 overall pick, yes, it has a lot of value, and yes, it could be very important to the franchise. But if we were to most likely take a quarterback in that spot, well, we're bringing in a top 5 quarterback anyways, so that could help bear the burden, obviously. And we still have the 23 overall pick where we could take a guy like a young guy on defense to help on the edge or corner, which I think we would ideally go if we get Deshaun Watson at 23. Then you look to the same draft with the 2021 third-round pick. While it sucks losing that third-round pick, we also have another third-round pick, which could totally help out and not make us lose too many assets. And then if you go to next year, obviously, we're trading only one of the first-round picks, so we'll still have another first-round selection to build our team and hopefully be in the playoffs soon and have a winning culture. So the only pick where you're completely wiping the rounds as of now is the 2023 first-round pick, which is 3 years in advance, and hopefully by then that pick is in the mid to high 20s where we're winning games. Another thing that you could add is if we take away Sam Darnold, the Native one Sam Darnold, we only do 3 first-round picks and 1 third-round pick, which I don't know how realistic it is. If we don't trade Sam Darnold and we get Deshaun Watson anyways, we could ship out Sam Darnold for hopefully a second-round pick. Maybe if we're lucky, a late first-round pick for teams like the Saints. But realistically, I see us getting a second or third-round pick so I can just add to the draft assets and help bear the burden of what we're losing in that trade. Sorry, the camera cut out there. But after talking about my first trade option, I'm going to bring up a second trade option that I could find is more realistic and something the Texans might want to take. Is we go with the 2nd overall pick, the 23 overall pick, the 2022 first round pick, and then we either throw in another 2nd rounder or another 3rd rounder. And while this would suck because we completely wiped the first round picks, you have to, first-round picks of this year, you have to realize Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback. Like, it's even hard to draft that. If we were to draft a quarterback in number 2, there's no guarantee he's a top 5 quarterback. There's no guarantee he's even top 10. Look what we did with Sam Darnold. We drafted him 3 overall. How did he work out? Not so great, and I know the situation was tough for him, and there couldn't be some excuses made for him. But in reality, he hasn't lived up to his expectations, and who knows? If we take a bet on another quarterback, it might not work out as well. So trading both first-round picks might suck from a draft capital standpoint. Bringing in a guy like Deshaun Watson just completely boosts the roster. And if we were to lose a 2022 first-round pick, we would still have another one. And another third-round pick, like I said before, we can make up with that for trading a guy like Sam Darnold. And we still have a decent amount of capital in the middle rounds. So those are my 2 most realistic trade opportunities, or trade options. And I know there's going to be criticism saying, no, we have to build this the right way, the long-term way, drafting players. And I totally understand that, and I'm all for that. I'm on both sides right now. I'll take either one because I could see the positives and the negatives in both sides. But I know there's going to be people saying, no, we have to build this the right way through draft, through free agency. And I totally understand that. But I'm telling you, if we get Deshaun Watson, the Jets won't regret it one bit. The fans won't regret it one bit because you know what you're getting with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was not in a great situation in Houston. He's not going to be that guy where it's like, oh, he's a system quarterback. He had great talent around him. He's going to do bad on the Jets. No, that roster might even be worse than the Jets. He's going to come into a situation with Robert Saleh installing a winning culture, and he's going to put up his numbers. And I could totally see us winning because we'll still have a lot of money, realistically 50 to 60 million in free agency, where we could go out and get guys like Allen Robinson because they're going to want to play for the Jets. We could go out and get guys like Joe Tooney or Brandon Sheriff because they're going to want to go out and play for the Jets because a guy like Deshaun Watson and Robert Saleh are there and the team's on the uprise. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But I'm just saying I'm on both sides. If we don't get Deshaun Watson, I'm going to be happy because I know we're going to be set for the future with our draft assets. And if we do get Deshaun Watson, I'm going to be pumped because he's going to change this team around. You have to think, when's the last time the Jets had a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? I mean, years, 30 years maybe, like long time. So if we get Deshaun Watson, I'll be absolutely ecstatic. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, go Jets.